This is All India Radio program Samvad. We now bring you PM's address at 15th India-EU Summit and MEA briefing after the summit.
एक्सेलेंसी नमस्कार। कोविड-19 के कारण हमें मार्च में इंडिया-EU समिट स्थगित करनी पड़ी थी। अच्छी बात है कि आज हम वर्चुअल माध्यम से मिल पा रहे हैं। सबसे पहले मैं यूरोपीय कोरोना वायरस के कारण हुई क्षति के लिए संवेदना प्रकट करता हूं। आपके शुरुआती रिमार्क्स के लिए मैं आप दोनों महाशयों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। आपकी तरह मैं भी भारत और EU के संबंधों को और विस्तृत और गहरा बनाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हूं। इसके लिए हमें एक दीर्घकालीन स्ट्रेटेजिक पर्सपेक्टिव अपनाना चाहिए। इसके साथ साथ एक एक्शन ओरिएंटेड एजेंडा बनाना चाहिए जिसे निर्धारित समय में कार्यान्वित किया जा सके। भारत और EU नेचुरल पार्टनर है। हमारी पार्टनरशिप विश्व में शांति और स्थिरता के लिए भी उपयोगी है। यह वास्तविकता आज की वैश्विक स्थिति में और भी स्पष्ट हो गई है। हम दोनों ही डेमोक्रेसी, प्लुरलिज्म, इंक्लूसिविटी, रिस्पेक्ट फॉर इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, मल्टीलेटरलिज्म, फ्रीडम, ट्रांसपेरेंसी जैसी यूनिवर्सल वैल्यूज शेयर करते हैं। कोविड-19 के बाद आर्थिक क्षेत्र में वैश्विक स्तर पर नई समस्याएं उत्पन्न हो गई। इसके लिए डेमोक्रेटिक राष्ट्रों के बीच अधिक सहयोग की आवश्यकता हम सब महसूस करते हैं। आज हमारे नागरिकों की सेहत और समृद्धि दोनों ही चुनौतियों का सामना कर रहे हैं। रूल्स बेस्ड इंटरनेशनल ऑर्डर पर विभिन्न प्रकार के दबाव है। ऐसे में भारत EU पार्टनरशिप आर्थिक पुनर्निर्माण में और एक मानव केंद्रित और मानवता केंद्रित ग्लोबलाइजेशन के निर्माण में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा सकती है। तत्कालीन चुनौतियों के अलावा क्लाइमेट चेंज जैसे लॉन्ग टर्म चैलेंजेस भी हम दोनों के लिए ही प्राथमिकता है। भारत में रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के उपयोग को बढ़ाने के हमारे प्रयत्नों में हम यूरोप के इन्वेस्टमेंट और टेक्नोलॉजी का आमंत्रण करते हैं। मैं आशा करता हूं कि इस वर्चुअल समिट के माध्यम से हमारे संबंधों को गति मिलेगी। एक्सेलेंसीज, मैं आपसे बात करने के इस अवसर के लिए पुनः प्रसन्नता व्यक्त करता हूं। अब मैं हमारे अगले एजेंडा आइटम कोविड-19 के खिलाफ हमारे रिस्पांस पर अपने विचार रखूंगा।
May I now invite Secretary West to make his initial remarks, after which he will answer your questions. Over to you, sir.
Friends, the 15th India-EU Summit has just concluded. It was held in virtual mode and attended by the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, the President of the European Council, Mr. Charles Michel, and the President of the European Commission, Ms. Ursula von der Leyen. Our External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, National Security Advisor, Shri Ajit Doval, and the EU High Representative for Foreign and Security Policy, Mr. Joseph Borrell, also attended the summit. Our relationship with the European Union is a very active one. It covers virtually all dimensions: political, economic, security, trade and investment, environment, research and innovation, and culture, underpinned by strong people-to-people ties. The EU is our largest trading partner for goods, with trade exceeding $100 billion. We also have a large services trade of approximately $40 billion. The EU is one of the largest investors in India, with cumulative investment of over $91 billion. The EU is also an important source for technology, innovation, and best practices. The summit was held in a very cordial atmosphere, marked by mutual respect and appreciation between the leaders, which has been a hallmark of past interactions between them. The discussions covered joint response to the pandemic, strengthening the India-EU strategic partnership and its various dimensions, as well as our convergences and our collaboration on the global arena, covering multilateralism, international organizations, and contemporary developments. In the context of the pandemic, both sides recognized the value of a joint collaborative response at the global level. Prime Minister appreciated the European Union's global coronavirus initiative for accelerating access to COVID-19 tools, vaccines, treatment and diagnostics. Recognizing each other's strengths and mutual synergies, such as our role in pharmaceuticals and research, the EU and India agreed to intensify cooperation in response to the coronavirus, including on accessibility and affordability of COVID-19 tools. Both President Michel and President von der Leyen greatly appreciated the timely assistance provided by India in terms of supply of medicines to EU countries. They sought India's active engagement in the initiative of universal and affordable vaccines for all. The leaders on both sides affirmed their strong interest and full commitment to develop the India-EU strategic partnership to new levels. They adopted the strategic partnership roadmap to 2025 as the new framework to upgrade the relationship in diverse digital technologies and connectivity. The joint statement adopted by the leaders and which has already been put on the MEA's website summarizes the conclusions of the summit meeting. An important outcome of the summit is the decision to establish a high-level dialogue at the level of the ministers to guide development of trade relations as well as trade and investment agreements in the context of the broad-based trade and investment agreement. The leaders recognized that post-COVID economic recovery priorities offer opportunities to unleash the full potential for their economic ties, including discussion on supply chain linkages between India and Europe. Prime Minister invited European companies for FDI in India, taking into account our efforts to improve ease of doing business, regulatory environment, and our aim to integrate India with global value supply chains. Our ongoing cooperation and intensifying it for modernization and sustainable development priorities were also discussed, covering investments, financing, technology, best practices and capacities. India welcomed European participation in urban transport projects such as the metro projects in Pune and Bhopal, renewable energy covering several solar and wind power projects, smart city projects and waste recycling. The EU conveyed its strong commitment to the climate-friendly future European Green Deal and its interest in collaborating more closely on such solutions. The EU appreciated India's initiatives of the International Solar Alliance and the Coalition of Disaster-Resilient Infrastructure, and both sides agreed to reinforce cooperation on these initiatives. The leaders adopted a joint declaration on resource efficiency and circular economy. The development of the digital economy was discussed, and upgrading bilateral dialogue on technology such as artificial intelligence and 5G was agreed by the leaders. They appreciated ongoing research and innovation cooperation, which involves projects in areas such as healthcare, water, energy, transport, food, and information and communication technologies. The leaders decided to renew the India-EU agreement on scientific and technological cooperation that will enable further research collaboration. The leaders also welcomed the conclusion of an agreement between Euratom, which is the European Atomic Energy Community, and India for cooperation in research and development in the fields of peaceful uses of nuclear energy. The leaders agreed for the two sides to explore a future comprehensive connectivity partnership. President von der Leyen proposed an India-EU joint working group on artificial intelligence, which was welcomed by Prime Minister Modi. The leaders noted the ongoing exchanges and cooperation in the area of foreign policy and security, such as political consultations, naval cooperation, and agreed to strengthen maritime cooperation further through a new dialogue on maritime security. They underlined the need to preserve the stability and safety of the Indian Ocean. Combating terrorism, terrorist financing, countering radicalization and abuse of internet for these purposes was also discussed in great detail. The two sides will intensify their exchanges and cooperation in this area. The leaders discussed the contemporary global environment and the need to strengthen multilateralism and joint coordinated responses based on dialogue and cooperation and respect for a rules-based international order. In the context of India's upcoming membership of the UN Security Council and G20 presidency, there was mutual interest in more active engagement and cooperation between the two sides. In overall terms, the 15th India-EU Summit has helped consolidate our partnership with the European Union and provided a new roadmap to upgrade the relationship in all areas. As two large unions of diversity, as the two largest democracies in the world, sharing values of freedom, pluralism, and rule of law, and a commitment to a rules-based international order and effective multilateralism, the partnership between India and the EU is a force for good in our complex world. 5 documents were concluded during the virtual summit. I will now give you brief details on each of them. First and foremost, the joint political statement, which summarizes the deliberations and convergences between the two sides on various dimensions of bilateral cooperation, global issues of common interest, and joint coronavirus response. Second, the India-EU Strategic Framework Roadmap to 2025, which summarizes the framework of our dialogue and cooperation, covering wide-ranging areas including foreign and security policy, trade and investment, modernization, sustainable development, research and innovation, education and exchange of scholars, migration and mobility, and global governance. Third, the India-European Atomic Energy Community Agreement on Research and Development Cooperation in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy, which will enable collaboration between the Department of Atomic Energy on our side and Euratom on the EU side on issues such as civil applications of atomic energy in areas such as agriculture, healthcare and industry, radioactive waste management, fusion, nuclear safety and security. Fourth, the renewal of the Science and Technology Cooperation Agreement for another 5 years, which will enable continuation of scientific projects and research exchanges in areas such as biotechnology, clean energy, e-mobility, energy efficiency, and marine sciences. And fifth, the Joint Declaration on Resource Efficiency and Circular Economy, which will enable dialogue and cooperation in areas such as policy and regulations, exchange of best practices and capacities, and technical exchanges in areas such as energy efficiency, waste management, recycling, circular business models in areas such as mobility, ICT, mobility, construction, food and textile sector. So this then broadly gives you an idea of the comprehensive discussions that were held today and how they are going to upgrade and take the India-EU partnership to the next level. This concludes my opening statement and I'm now happy to take some questions.
I will now move on to the questions. I have received a set of questions on trade. These questions largely want to know whether any headway has been made on the FTA, whether India is in favor of a free trade agreement with the European Union, whether the EU has proposed a separate investment protection agreement before an FTA is negotiated. Similar questions have been asked by Jomi Thomas from Malayalam Manorama, Shankar Kumar from India vs Disinformation, Maha from News 18, Athar from Times Now, Kamaljeet from Aaj-Tak, and Manas from PTI. Would you like to respond to this, sir?
Yes, I think all of them can be clubbed together and I can give a combined answer to the queries that have been raised concerning the broad-based trade and investment agreement. Now, as you know, India and the EU have held negotiations on this broad-based trade and investment agreement for quite some time. But since 2013, those negotiations have not really taken place. So after the taking over by the new European Commission in December last year, our Commerce and Industry Minister and the EU Trade Commissioner have met and they have exchanged readiness to engage on the matter. The leaders discussed it at our summit today in the context of the post-COVID economic recovery priorities on both sides, interest in the diversification of supply chain linkages, strong emphasis on both sides for realizing the full potential for trade and investment ties between India and the EU, and addressing trade-related issues on both sides. Our Prime Minister emphasized the priority that we attach to attracting foreign direct investment and continued efforts of the Government of India to liberalize the regulatory environment as well as further improve the ease of doing business. He invited European businesses to utilize the opportunities in India and conveyed that Atmanirbhar Bharat is aimed at integrating domestic production in India to global supply chains. So during the 15th summit discussions, one of the most important outcomes was the setting up of this high-level dialogue on trade and investment relations, which will discuss all trade and market issues as well as supply chain linkages. The two sides have expressed their commitment and agreed to work for a balanced, ambitious, and mutually beneficial trade and investment agreements. The high-level dialogue, which will be held in the coming months, is expected to provide high-level guidance and directions to take these two agreements forward.
Next question is, India-China LAC situation was discussed, and in fact there are a few questions from others also on these lines.
Well, I would say that as part of the review of global and regional developments, our relations with China did come up. Prime Minister shared our views on the India-China relationship in general and the current situation in the border areas.
This concludes our briefing. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to PM's address at 15th India-EU Summit and MEA briefing after the summit. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our website, newsonair.com. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.